Let me start it off with this. Isn't it poetic how the day that the Denver Nuggets advanced to their first finals appearance ever, the same day that Carmelo Anthony announces his retirement? Just think about it for a second though. Like, for real. It's like Carmelo Anthony was the hyped up prospect when they drafted him from that historic 03 draft class. He was the one that was supposed to take him to the finals or a championship, at least to the promised land. And, that didn't happen, ended horribly. They even had a Carmelo AI duo at one point. That shit was crazy if you watched any part of that chapter of the Nuggets history. And then, like, the day that the guy announces his retirement, the Nuggets pull off the miraculous first finals appearance on the back of Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Aaron Gordon. Yeah, I'm going to say it. That's the true Denver trio, all right? It's Gordon, Murray, and Jokic, all right? Not MPJ and the two stars, all right? Let me put that out there. And another thing involving Aaron Gordon, look, Zach LaVine might have won the slam dunk. Oh, I just ate on my spit, my But yeah, Zach LaVine might have won the slam dunk contest, but Aaron Gordon might win his first championship. So I don't know. You weigh those out and tell me which one matters more. I love Zach though, so just putting that out there. All love. But let's break this down real quick. I had to react to this. Unfortunately, Irvin couldn't make it, but don't worry, we'll be back here for the finals, and we'll see how long the Heat series goes. But all right, actually, now that I bring that up, real quick, if the Heat sweep the Boston Celtics tomorrow, this would be the first time in NBA history that both conferences were able to sweep their opponents in the conference finals to get to the finals. Think about that. So maybe more history could be made tomorrow. We'll see. But either way, it's going to be a fantastic finals. Nuggets versus Heat. I know, Miami's not official yet, but, historically speaking, statistically speaking, probability speaking, whatever you want to, take a jab at, whatever angle you want to go at, it just hasn't happened. And if LeBron wasn't able to pull it off, I'm sorry. I don't think Brown and Tatum are going to pull it off, But, all right, let's bring it back to Denver and LA. I'm gonna focus on LeBron first. I feel bad for him. I'm going to be honest. I feel bad for LeBron. I tweeted on the BTD account. Go follow us on Twitter if you haven't, at balltalkdeep. Same as our channel, same as our TikTok, our Instagram. Everything is balltalkdeep. BALTALKDEEP. All right, enough of the plug. But my bad. I'm going through, I live tweeted a shit ton from this game, especially from the fourth quarter, because it was just hyped. I love the playoffs. I like basketball. I like the NBA. I love my Heat, but there's nothing okay, you see how I used I love the playoffs. I love the conference finals. I love the finals. I just love sports in general too, when it's when shit really matters, regular season games, let's be honest, it's fucking bullshit. I think maybe it is time that the NBA season starts shortening things. And I used to be the guy, the fan that 82 game made sense, keep it for historic purposes, whatever, but each game would matter more, would carry a little more weight, or similar to the playoffs, if it was a shortened season, like the NFL. Take a chapter from the NFL book. But all right, I'm sorry for anyone who's tuning in, who's a new viewer. There's a lot of side rants and tangents on this channel, so if you got ADD or anything like that, this is the podcast for you. If not, I apologize. You're probably, you already clicked out at this point, but it is what it is. All right, so what were we talking about? Okay. Look, I said all LeBron needs is reliable shooters, and he would have probably had 7 rings by now. Think about that. If you watch this game, all the Lakers needed was for some threes to sink in. That's all this guy, Bron, put his whole fucking heart out there, man. He put it all out there tonight. There is nothing you can debate about that. You can debate his play if you want. You could debate the team, like the Lakers. You could talk crap about whatever you want. But LeBron put it all out there. And the man is 38. And it's so fucking crazy that he's 38 was trending on Twitter, because it is crazy. It is crazy. I also tweeted, LeBron's tired and I don't blame him. I'd probably be on the floor by the end of the first quarter at 38. And honestly, it's true. Could you imagine being in your late 30s playing official NBA league level basketball, and just in the conference finals with a semi-mediocre team, I'll be honest, overall, and having to put that team on your back. Like, you haven't done that a million times in your career already. You know what I mean? So it's not just his age, it's also the miles that he's had on him. Like, you have to take that into consideration. And going back to what I was saying about the threes, look, LA from the 3-point line, in total, they shot 40% as a squad. All right, 8 of 20. However, Hachimura 0 for 3. Schroeder 3 for 6. Schroeder showed up, but overall he was 5 from 13. Keep that in mind. Austin Reaves 1 of 2. He's been probably him and Rui, my favorite standouts for the series. So, overall, or not this, just the Lakers run. I admire what these two were able to do for the run. So good for them. But yeah, Russell 0 for 1, Walker 0 for 1, and then LeBron was 4 of 7. And Davis didn't even shoot a 3. So, like, we need those shots to sink in, my boys. And then field goal percentage, 46.5%. Look, the numbers could look all right type shit, but if you watch the game, first half, good for the Lakers. But the second half, man, like, it was neck and neck, and it was, like, back and forth. But, what was I going to say? But, you could tell that the Nuggets just had it. Like, Lakers would have these little moments, but the Nuggets just had it. And in a game when you're down 0 for 3, you can't play in the position that the Lakers were in almost the entire second half. You need more, because that whole time when whether the Lakers would be up by very few, or they'd be right there, or they'd be tied, I was like, I had a bad feeling. I was like, this is going to the Nuggets, because when it gets to that point and you're down 0-3 in a series, it's very hard for you to will that win, especially when you're relying on a 38-year-old star, you know what I mean, who is not unfortunately at the peak of his talents or even close to it anymore. And I say close to just because his peak was so freaking high. All right, it's not like, he's dropped off tremendously. He's dropped off, but he's still one of the better players in the NBA, obviously. But I mean, I also tweeted, this is a hyperbole, but Miami LeBron would have bulldozed through Jamal and Aaron on that last drive for the game winner. He would have just bulldozed it and scored. Like, it hurts. It hurts to see a guy that I've watched since I was like a little kid, just reach the tail end of his career. Like I said, he still got it. He's gonna play till his at least early 40s in the league, in my opinion. But I feel like this year was the last, hurrah for him. And it was just like, I don't think next year, mind you, he was injured throughout these playoffs. Like, if you saw, you can even see it during this game. He was hobbling. There was definitely a lingering injury, or at the very least, he wasn't 100% healthy. So maybe next year he comes back and he still got it. I don't know. But I feel like, from what I can see from afar, this was the truly last, like, LeBron, King James, performance through a season that we were going to get. I don't know. I could be wrong, because honestly, I thought he would have been declining more so or earlier on already by this point. But, he just keeps proving us wrong. AD, look, 6 for 15, 40 minutes, scored 90% of his free throws, so that's legit. 9 of 10, so props for that. 14 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 blocks. However, -6, -6 on the floor with 21 points. I am not the biggest fan of AD. I like AD. I see his potential. I see his peak. I agree with a lot of the positives about him, but I also agree with a lot of the negatives. And, as much as you can blame everyone around LeBron, they weren't, everybody else on this squad, like Schroeder, Reaves, Hachimura, they aren't the ones that the city of LA was relying to get them to the promised land. It's your star or your two stars, because you got one megastar and one star. And a star, your second star, your Robin, can play at a Batman level when he really wants to. And he had a couple of clutch performances, but again, proves that he's just not him. He's not that guy. He has no Jimmy in him. You know what I mean? He got no dog in him. So it is what it is, and I think this series confirms it. I don't know what the Lakers are going to do moving forward. That's another video, because that's a whole other discussion. But I just wanted to briefly touch on it, because this is my reaction to just, the ending of these conference finals and the ending of, unfortunately, this LA season. But the beginning for the Denver Nuggets. So that, should I transition? All right, I'll just lastly touch on Rui Hachimura. Like I said, impressive, man. Impressive. Not his best game. 42 minutes, 3 of 12 from the field, 0 of 3 from the 3. 4-4 for free throws. So, 7 rebounds, plus 1 on the floor, 10 points. Look, and he started this game, which, if I remember correctly, it is his first start in these playoffs. At the very least, this series. I think Rui Hachimura, even when he got drafted, when you would watch him play, you could see the real potential behind the guy. And I think if you slot him into the right organization, in my opinion, I think he could be an Aaron Gordon-esque player. I was a fan of Aaron Gordon more than just the dunks when he was on the Magic. And when he went to Denver, I was like, check out one of our old videos. I know we reacted to that trade, I'm pretty sure. And then if you want to check out our off-season video, don't worry, Denver fans, I'm going to get to y'all. Trust me, you're going to like it. I think Rui could fit a slot like that. He's got the size. He's got the ball IQ. He seems to have good vision, overall vision on the floor. Keep in mind, he's still young, and he hasn't been in the league too long, so there's still room for noticeable improvement, maybe even significant improvement. Again, like I said, you need just the right organization and the right culture around him. You're not going to fucking develop too well in the Wizards, let's be honest. And then Schroeder, Reaves. Hey, Reaves, my boy, you have been the standout player for these playoffs. At the very least, one of them, you popped off, you did your thing, the light is shining on you bright. And again, same with Rui. I think in the right organization, you will thrive. In the right position, you will thrive. They lost Alex Caruso, but they found Austin Reaves. And that's what happened. They just replaced one white boy with another. I don't know how else to put it, but it's like the same template between those two guys is there. It's that hustle, that dog mentality, that never quit mentality. Hustle after every play, put it all out on the floor, and on top of that, be a fucking dope basketball player. Do everything that needs to be done on both ends of the floor. Have good ball IQ, make good decisions. One of small play that Austin Reaves did real quick was when at the very last play, or second to last play of the game, when LeBron and him got the ball. If you look, Austin called that timeout immediately. No hesitation, no bullshit, just boom. And it's those small things that I like catching from players where I'm like, okay, this guy, he gets it. He gets it. And if you get it, you get it. And I'm not just talking about in basketball in general, just in life. If you get it, you get it. And you can recognize it when someone gets it. And then NBA vets and players say this all the time, like when they got on a podcast or their own podcast, that there's players in the league that get it, and there's players in the league that don't. And Austin Reaves, I put my money that he gets it. Now, moving on to Denver Nuggets. That whole team gets it, all right? That Coach Malone, hey, killing it. I am very, very excited to see that battle, that chess match between him and Spoelstra. That's going to be very fun. Without a doubt, Spoelstra's still the better overall coach. Let's be honest. Just putting out there on paper, achievements, whatever. And let's not forget, Spoelstra is a top 15 coach of all time. But look what he's been able to do with this squad. And not like this is the Heat type of squad. Like, this is a legitimately talented, star-driven squad. Two-star driven squad. But still, look what he's been able to do with this squad over the past few years too. But especially now. My bad. Especially now, taking him to the finals. Maybe winning the whole championship. Very impressive. So, gotta give him his flowers. Look how he's performed this entire playoffs. And Look at that. They swept their opponent in the conference finals. You know what I mean? I know some people are gonna be like, "Oh, it was the Lakers. If it was a different team that advanced, blah blah." You can always do those hypotheticals. Like I get it, and I've been in that you know mindset before. But at the end of the day, it's the conference finals. Whoever you're facing is the best opponent in that moment in time because there's a reason they got there, and Malone was able to outcoach him enough for a 4-0 for a sweep, a total sweep. Now, how was he able to do that? Well, it helps when you got a historically talented, successful player in Nikola Jokic. Jokic, man, I feel bad. It was definitely a little bit of voter fatigue, and not that Embiid doesn't deserve it, but it sucks that this was the year that he didn't win MVP, and he could have. He had a legitimate argument. So imagine if this man fucking did a three-peat, something that hasn't been done since Larry Bird, and then reached the finals for the first time in his franchise's history. Just that alone, even forget winning the championship, just that alone would have been like, whoa, insane historical season. And then if he somehow won a championship and probably the finals MVP, if they were to win that championship with a regular season MVP, very few people do that. Very few. It's Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and I don't know if there's anyone, at least in recent memory, that I can think of. Because I think that's it. In the same season, by the way, guys, not in general. Let me clarify that. But hey, maybe at the same time, him not winning that MVP was like a little chip on the shoulder, a little fire. I know he always says it's all about the team. Everybody always says that nowadays, I get it. He even stated it in the conference finals speech at the end of the game. But I'm sure there's a part of you like, I deserve that bitch. Like, y'all just didn't vote for me because, BS. Voter fatigue. BS. That's BS. But at the same time, Embiid deserved it. So whatever. We can have that discussion all day if I got into it. Now, Murray. Yo, Jamal, man. I've said this before, very recently actually, but I fell in love with Jamal's game in the bubble. When Denver was having that bubble run and they made it to the conference finals, a little reminder, the 4 teams in the conference finals this year are the same 4 teams that were in the bubble, so bubble not so much of a fluke, huh? I fell in love with Jamal's game in that playoff run they had in 2020 because a little bit might have been the angles that they were getting in the bubble. Because just keep in mind, I don't know if you guys remember, but they were able to get some crazy good angles with the cameras because they had cameras in the fucking court or hovering over the court. And yeah, I say all that to say that Jokic was, Jamal was just fucking art, bro. Art. The way that he was moving, the way that he was driving, scoring, finessing, assisting was just brilliant in that 2020 bubble, and he seems to have found it again these playoffs. This playoff run reminds me of that. Definitely a more mature approach to it. You can tell just by the way, some of the decision making that he's done and whatever. It comes with time and experience, so it makes sense. So yeah, I'm just happy for him. I think he does deserve to be here. I think he's one of the better players in the league who doesn't get the respect that he deserves. And I know there's people out there that hate on him. I got a boy who hates on him for whatever fucking reason. So I'm just glad to see him out there and look forward to what he does in the finals. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. Along with Jokic. Oh man, that duo. I love Jimmy and Bam, but they don't compare to these two. I'm sorry. So we'll see what happens. Now, Aaron Gordon. When the Nuggets picked up Gordon, I was ecstatic for them. I was like, people are sleeping on this move. People aren't talking about it enough. This could potentially turn them into a championship contender. I said it at that time. Now, I was hoping for either that year or the following year. Obviously, that year didn't happen. And then last year was shit just did not work out for the Nuggets. But it's finally all the pieces are falling together this year, and he's doing what I was vouching for when they got him. Like, he is a presence on the floor. He plays hard on both ends. He can score. He can defend. He can ruffle your feathers. He can get in your head. Look at LeBron. Look what he did to LeBron. And then even look at that block that he got at that last play. That potential game winner from LeBron, along with some help from Jamal. But what I mentioned earlier, he got in LeBron's head like that. Look, LeBron's a tough cookie. Not many people are gonna get in LeBron's head. He got in LeBron's head. So yeah, Aaron Gordon, man, you're getting your flowers, bro. You're getting your flowers. Everyone can see during this playoff run who you really are as a basketball player. At least I hope, because you're doing it in the brightest light, and you're getting your credit. And like I said, that's the real Denver trio right there. It's Gordon, Jamal, and Nikola. Let me repeat that. Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon are Denver's true trio. I'm sorry, MPJ. You have not been consistently proving yourself. I'm starting to get my little doubts about you. I still think you're a good player, don't get me wrong. But those are the three that are pulling it all together as a core for this Denver Nuggets run in 2023. Now, transitioning to MPJ. Hey, man. He's still doing his thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know I'm talking like, he did score 15 tonight, had 10 rebounds. The reason I sound disappointed in a way, or sorrow, whatever you want to say it, it's just like MPJ has had this like expectation potential that we were high for years now, and injuries and health was a big part of it, but it just never manifested to like the level that we hoped/wanted, and it's all good because it's still working out for them. And then I do want to touch on KCP. He scored 13 points tonight, 4 of 10 from field goal, 3 of 7 from 3, and he was doing a lot of shit on the floor. He plays smart. Don't forget, the man has a ring. He got a ring in 2020. He has that veteran experience. He's got that championship experience. He's going to be that guy in the locker room out of everybody right now. Like, at least the starting five, the core rotation that's been through it. He's been through it. He's seen it. Mind you, yeah, it was the bubble. It was a little different, but that's still the brightest of the lights. And when he got to Denver, I was like, yo, watch out. I always say this in the playoffs. Good to great role players are the ones to watch out for in the playoffs. They are the ones to watch out for, because like I mentioned earlier, LeBron, the shots were falling. They would have at least won tonight. And role players, that's what they do. They make their shots, or they execute the niche roles that they have to do well to perfectly, and as long as they do that, titles come. And yeah, I don't know. My bad. Yeah, I don't know. I think that about wraps it up. I'm trying to think what else I could touch on. I'm really happy for the Nuggets. Look, for the past 3 years, I think now, I've been vouching for the Nuggets. I've been saying that watch out for the Nuggets. They are going to win a title because of that duo. And at the time, I had MPJ as the third star that I was waiting for, and then Gordon would have been that fourth guy. Now the roles are switched, but still you got that same four, and then now you got KCP with that vet experience. But it's happening. But at least with the same four that have been there for a minute now, it's happening. And then the star duo that's been there for longer, hey man, congrats to Jamal, congrats to Nikola. They deserve this. They've been working at this forever. This is what teams hope for and develop for years. This is what franchises focus on for years. This is what Utah Jazz were supposed to do with Gobert and Mitchell. Develop the core. First you got to draft and find your stars. Then you develop them, and you develop the right core around that duo core, and then let everything play out well. And of course you got to have the right coach, the right staff, all that. And then the ball just starts rolling. The Denver Nuggets have been able to do that, and they've been showing time and time again. And when they got to their first conference finals not too long ago, I was like, I didn't expect him to win that one. And I said because in the NBA, the way it usually works is you have to go through your trials and tribulations, and usually that means failing in the finals or failing in the conference finals, like being so close to there, and then just losing it, and then you come back with a fire. Like look at LeBron in 2011. I kind of thought maybe that was gonna happen with the Celtics after last year, but then there's a whole that we'll talk about during the Miami Boston reaction. But yeah, Denver has gone through trials and tribulations, and after all that, this might be their year. And if Miami makes it to the other end, same thing with them. They went through that core went through their trials and tribulations in 2020. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. One loss in the finals, one loss in the conference finals, but at least both have been so close to tasting that title, and then not reached it. And that experience does wonders for a pro athlete. They talk about it all the time, and now we're finally seeing it come into fruition for at least the Nuggets, who have officially made it to the finals, and then we'll see if the Heat do, and then same thing that I just said for them. But yeah, we'll break down. We'll do a preview when that's ready to be done. Hopefully tomorrow. I hope the Heat make history tomorrow. Now that the Nuggets have finished, I'm not gonna lie. Before this game, I was like, all right, in my head, I was like, if the Nuggets beat the Lakers 4-0, Miami has to sweep Boston, just so we can get that historic, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, 8-0 basically of both conference finals team. That's never been done in NBA history. And yeah, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll be back soon. Stay tuned. Sub, like, comment. I want to hear your thoughts. I really do enjoy going back and forth with y'all. I see some of y'all. I see you, Storm Shadow. I've seen some other of you guys. Go back to some of our old videos, especially our off-season videos for this season. Talk, pointing out some of our predictions, calling us out on some of the mistakes, calling us out on all this and that. It's fun. So, always welcome for all criticism, all shit talking, whatever it is. We'll chop it up. I'm always down. And yeah, don't forget, sub, like, comment, what's all that? Oh, share. Follow us on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok, but most importantly, Twitter, man. We're on Twitter hard, especially for the playoffs. And yeah, just stay tuned. We're actually going to start posting episodes on there. And yeah, until next time, take care.